Next question I have here is, why aren't all city structures up to ADA code requirements? And that is kind of a multifaceted question. You can look at it in a lot of different ways. ADA requirements state that if you remodel or if you have new construction has to be brought up to ADA standards. Reconstruction of properties or remodels have to have at least 20% of their or 20% of their structure has to be remodeled.
Sure, it's not 20% of the funds used.
20% of the funds used. So if your remodel is a $100,000 remodel based on your permit, it would be $20,000 in remodel. So that would mean that you may remodel your bathroom, path of travel, you may look at door openers, you may look at widths of your path of travel inside the building. There's a lot of different areas that you would look at for ADA requirements, but the cap is 20%, I believe is the cap for remodels. However, new construction has to be brought up to the current ADA guidelines. For existing buildings, you don't have to bring existing buildings up to code. Some buildings potentially are very proactive in bringing their structures up to code, but as far as private businesses, the city cannot force you without a remodel or without new construction to bring your property up to ADA guidelines.
And that includes purpose-driven things, right? So if you had, say, a restaurant, a building that was used as a restaurant, the codes wouldn't have to be brought up to par in that building if it continued to be a restaurant. But if you changed it to, say, a nightclub,
correct,
or something.
Yes, if you change the use of the building or facility, then you would have to bring it up to new regulations and new codes. If it was a, let's say a jewel, well, see, it's very difficult. If you say there was a low-use commercial area, say it was a private office, you know, if it was a private law firm, the entire structure probably would not necessarily be ADA compliant. You would have the public areas be ADA compliant, but when it comes to maybe a restaurant or a clothing store, if it transitions from an existing law office into a clothing store, then yes, you'd have to bring it up because the public area is substantially larger, and if the public was going to use any of that facility, then they would have to bring those areas up into compliance. And one of the downfalls of that is the restrooms. You always have to change restrooms, and in these older buildings it's very difficult to change the size of restrooms because you're potentially looking at tearing out walls, you're looking at additional plumbing. It is a very expensive process, and it is very difficult for a property owner who's starting a new business to have to undertake those expenses. But we try our best to work with the business owner and try to ensure that it's as painless as possible. However, sometimes there is no wiggle room for us because we are controlled and monitored by the Department of Justice. And the Department of Justice at any time can come in and review our remodels, and if we're taking a look at ADA when we look at those remodels.
And the city just put in a handicap-able bathroom?
Yes, when we remodeled across the hallway, we actually did several ADA improvements. We brought the entrance door to the utility billing area. We brought that up to ADA accessibility guidelines. The pole is like, I believe it has to be 5 pounds. It's an extra wide door, which is very easy to open. We also have a path of travel for the public areas are widened so to allow for individuals to turn around easily. And we also have an ADA height station where individuals that are in wheelchairs can roll up to this workstation and pay their bill with ease. Also, we added a accessible restroom downstairs. We had no public restrooms on the main floor of City Hall, everyone had to travel up the stairs to utilize the restrooms upstairs. And so we did add an ADA accessible restroom on the main floor as part of that remodel as well.
So the rules apply to you guys too?
Absolutely. The rules do apply to us, and as we remodel, we do fix. And we do try to be a little bit more proactive rather than reactive. And so we try to keep ahead of those things. And if a complaint is brought to our attention, then we try to get it addressed as quickly as possible. Why can't the city handle raccoons and possums that citizens call in? This is an animal control issue, and animal control is a department in an area that's handled by the police department. We do have a full-time animal control officer. And our focus has been, and we have authority over domestic animals, which includes dogs and cats. And so our officer is trained to handle any dogs and cats complaints. The Kansas Department of Fish and Game, and the Kansas Department of Wildlife and Parks, they are actually the ones that control all the wildlife. Raccoons, possums, and other are considered wildlife under Kansas statute. And so you have to have special permits, special permission to actually even handle those type of animals. And there is enough concern in regards to the dogs and cats in Ark City that it makes it very difficult to utilize our resources to handle those wild animals, especially when there are several area pest control and animal control specialists that do this for a living. And so we have a list of names and companies and phone numbers that are available at the police department for those individuals that need assistance in trapping and hauling off. Homeowners can trap animals on their own property and dispose of them, I believe, as long as they have the proper permitting. I believe you can trap an animal on your property, but disposal is a little bit trickier. You actually have to have a company that's permitted to dispose of the animal to get rid of it. It's something that we try our best to educate the public. I know that the police officers, when they do run across this, or the animal control officer runs across situations in regards to wildlife, that they do provide a list of names. And if anyone in town is interested in getting their name on the list and is permitted through the state of Kansas, then that would be a name that we would add to that list of providers, and hopefully eventually it'll make a difference in the community and the amount of wildlife. But we are ag community. We are going to have wildlife. We are going to have deer. We're going to have raccoons. We're going to have possums. We're going to have anything and everything you can imagine in Ark City. Armadillos. That's never going to go away. But what we can do is, if it is a nuisance for you, we do have the ability to get you in contact with individuals who could remove that animal from your property. If you do have a dead animal that you're wanting to get rid of, the number you need to call is 441-4420, and that will get you in touch with the Public Works and Code Enforcement Office. And what they'll do is they'll actually make a work order to have that animal removed. And if an animal control officer is available, they will remove it promptly, or else we'll have a sanitation employee come up and remove it for you. Anyway, I hope that answers that question in regards to animal control.